One to the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war till the day I'm done. It can't stop. Nothing new up under the sun. I'm gonna war till the day I'm done. Number one till the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war till the day I'm done. It can't stop. Nothing new up under the sun. I see why they say never hit me and Congo man. Claim they real, they actions don't match what they saying. I got the upper hand, what you don't understand, youngin'. I'd rather bleed than concede that they saying something. These niggas cunning. They want my power, they never take it from me. Hey, for that money, I heard you a sissy. They can't go out like that, they'll have to 86 me quickly. I speak the truth, so they try to afflict me. I'd rather be inflicted than live graffiti and slick. Seriously, shit. Just broke up a while ago. No one bring them soldiers in the building like the Alamo. Niggas shit that they been through. They're pouring down the wicked judge and flow. Bitch, I am the law. Don't face it, prepare for war. Yeah, but what's time? Motherfucker. War to the day I'm done. Number one to the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war till the day I'm done. It can't stop. There's nothing new up under the sun. I'm gonna war till the day I'm done. Number one to the day I'm done. I'ma grind till the day is done. I'ma war till the day I'm done. It can't stop. Nothing new up under the sun. Yeah, let's clap it up, yo. Clap it up. Yeah, man. Clap it up in here, man. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Israel? Shalom, sir. Shalom. What's going on? Shalom. Shalom. Get it cracking up in here, man. Getting real out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Negroes scared. Talking about we going to war. Why Trump doing this? Why we got to go through this? Our children fighting in the military. They gonna go over there and get killed. Let us have war, brother. That's right. Let us have war. Because this is what we don't understand. Our children dying already, man. Man, we went through government-sponsored abortion just the other day. Millions of us dead. Almost half our population
has been decimated, man. And look, this is the thing. If you take into account not only the abortions that happened, but the babies that would have been born to the babies that were aborted, man, Negroes would be somewhere around a number of 76 million if it were not for government-sponsored abortion. Decimated half our numbers. We're dying here. We haven't even gotten to our families being destroyed from mass incarceration, privatized prisons, fathers not being in the home, mothers raising hyper-masculine boys that grow up to kill another black man because they step on their Jordans, or kill another black man because they want something from him. Our families have been destroyed, decimated, and look, that further destroys our number. And then to cap it off, they got a campaign going to effeminize all the men.
Right.
So now all the men gay, dying of AIDS, not to mention the heart disease, the diabetes, and everything else we getting from their unclean food, their processed meats, the shrimp that they feeding pig feces, the tilapia that they feeding pig feces. We being decimated in this place. I'm talking about to the point of we might be a goddamn endangered species soon, man. Black men, I got you. Black men gonna be an endangered species. Look, there's 7 women to every black man. And the black women don't want to share their men. So we got a goddamn conundrum of women not being married, men not having babies, women not wanting babies, aborting them, and we all hating our goddamn self. We being genocided right here in America. You tell me that you scared for your sons to go over there and go to war, and you're not scared when they walk out the goddamn door?
Right.
We got a police shooting of an unarmed black man every 2 hours. Every 2.4 hours, an unarmed black man is murdered by the police. The KKK that infiltrated the police departments for that exact reason, to exterminate us. They got an extermination program currently going on, government-sponsored abortion. They got a black community Planned Parenthood. A black community Planned Parenthood. Why don't they have a white community Planned Parenthood, or a Chinese community Planned Parenthood, or a Japanese community Planned Parenthood? But they got a black community Planned Parenthood. What does that tell you? They're genociding us, man, right here. Let us have war. Let us have war, brother. The fall of white supremacy can only mean the rise of black supremacy. That's the only thing it can mean, brother. Don't be afraid of this. Don't be. Christ said something, man. Christ said something. I'm going to get that in a second. What you had, brother?
I was saying also all the missing women that we have, sir.
Look. If you want to get downright damn deep into it, brother, if that's what you want me to do, well, goddamn. Look, there's enough information for us to intelligently calculate that our organs are being stolen, man. So many black women have disappeared and then been found without their organs. They're exterminating us, brother. Look, they don't want to kill us all. And there's a reason for that. We're going to get into that later. There's a reason for that. We're going to get into that in a few minutes. All right? But what I want to get Christ's words. I always start off with Christ's words. Because Christ is the truth. What was that in Luke? Wait a minute. Let me get that real quick for you. Look, we the Isupkbmore under Commanding General Hunter. We ain't scared of a goddamn thing.
Right.
Let us have war. Bring us war. So we can get the hell out of here, man.
Right.
Luke 21, was that it?
I forgot that verse.
All right, give me a second. I get it. Hold on, I get it. Give me. I had that. Oh, here we go. Man, I got my fire precepts from Kaposh, man. Ever since I've been banging off these precepts, bro, I've been on fire. Kaposh put it all together for you, you know, right on your little app there, man, on your little dot. You know what I'm saying? All right, give me that Luke 21 and 24, brother.
Luke 21 and 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations.
What color the letters, brother?
Red, sir.
All right. This is the king speaking here. This is a prophecy. Start over again.
Luke 21, 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations.
Into where?
All nations.
This is Christ talking about we're going to be led off captive into all nations. And this is very important, man. This is extremely important. We are in all nations. We in everybody's army. We in everybody's government. We everybody's goddamn slave. We in everybody's society following Buddha, following the Cesare Borgia, following that dumb rock over there in Mecca. We in all of these other nations, man. And this is Christ saying we're going to be taken off into captivity. And how it applies to you, Judah, Negroes in the West Indies, right here in America, how it applies to you, we had to go through the hardest captivity on earth, man. Don't never let nobody tell you anything different, brother. All right, these people bred us like cattle. They slaughtered us, sexually abused us, men, women, children. Look, and they even said, who was it? James Madison even said that if we could take the light out of their minds altogether, we would do so. Like they had us on the level of the beast of the field, brother. And he used that exact term. Look it up. James Madison used that exact term, beast of the field, just like it says in Genesis. What are the beasts of the field in Genesis? What's that talking about? The other nations. He's going to have you being a nasty homosexual because that's what's happening here. And we're dying because of it. Getting AIDS. He's going to have you eating all kinds of unclean food. Have you being an adulterer and an adulteress, praying to other gods, living and loving other gods. We destroyed in this place. I'm tired of seeing my people like this. I would have war.
Right.
I would have war, brother. Read on.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
Trodden down of the Gentiles. Who's over in Jerusalem now? They over there having gay parades. They over there defiling the land, reading that filthy Babylon Talmud they be reading. You know, they over there plotting and planning to steal and to take all the resources on the earth, to destroy and enslave people, all kinds of different ways of enslaving people where they don't even know they enslaved. Running a World Bank. Look, they run the World Bank, brother. That's why I don't understand what brothers is talking about a goddamn chip in the head. They over there running a World Bank, and they will put tariffs on you as though you can't eat. They will destroy your entire economy. They did it to Venezuela unofficially. They did it to Iraq and Iran officially. Iran get ready to get more terrorists when they people already starving. How can you let people starve? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You have to be the devil.
That's right.
To allow somebody, an entire nation, to starve because they can't sell their resources on the world market because you such a greedy glutton, man. Read on, brother.
Until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
The time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. How will the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled? Everybody got to die. That's just the way of things. That's the way of God. This is how he topples kingdoms and builds kingdoms. He topples, he builds. He's been doing it since the garden, brother. There were nations in the garden. Idiots talking about there was just Adam and Eve. There were nations there, brother. There were nations. You can get that in Ezekiel. You know, we've been reading that for years. There were nations there. And the Lord was bringing down nations, building up nations. How did he destroy the empire of Egypt? There was that, but more to the point, how did he destroy it?
He sent the death angel through, killed the firstborn son, and then he slaughtered the army.
Everybody had to die.
Come.
That's the way of things. That's the way the Lord brings down kingdoms. That's the way he raises up kingdoms. See, but in this kingdom that's going to rise up, we ain't going to have that blood on our hands because he's going to do it.
That's right. Come.
He's going to do it. Let us have war, brother. Don't fret. Don't whine. And Negroes out there whining. Me and my house, we laughing. We celebrate. We know where we going, man. We know what's about to happen now. We not arrogant about it because the scriptures say, don't look forward to that day. I'm going to get that to you in a minute. Don't look forward to that day. But this is what I can say. We being slaughtered here. And it goes deeper than that. We're going to get into that. Go ahead and read, brother.
Come on, son. And there shall be signs in the sun.
There shall be signs in the sun. Go ahead.
And in the moon.
And in the moon. Nigga, Trump going to be the last president. I read the sign. The moon turning red. It's an eclipse. That means, you know what I'm saying? Look. Check this out. Let us have war, brother. Let us have war. The signs are everywhere what's about to happen. You know and I know what's about to happen. Don't mean that it's going to happen tomorrow. Don't mean that it's going to happen next year. But time is short. And because the time is short and the signs are there, we got to act appropriately. The scriptures say, before the decree, I'm going to have to get that. I'm going to have to get that. But it says before the decree, that's spring forth. That's before he comes, man. That's before he comes. How you good? The why? Go ahead.
And in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations.
Distress of nations, man. You got Iraq and Iran. Look, Iran get ready to deal with some crippling sanctions, man. That means their shelves in the grocery store is going to look like Venezuela's. And you know why white supremacy wanted to destroy Venezuela? Number one, Venezuela has a lake of oil underneath the ground. They would like to tap into that oil. Number two, America does not want an economically strong and viable country right next door to it. Because that strong and viable country can choose to ally with another nation, which they probably would have choose to ally with Russia. Everybody knows that the white man is the devil.
That's right.
That the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
This is why they have to put up black faces in high places. That we don't even understand that. We think it's a good thing. Colin Powell and Barack Obama and Condoleezza Rice. Let me tell you something, man. Black people oppose every war strategy that white America put forth. The reason why is because we know that they lie. Even if it's subconsciously, we know that they are the devil and we know how they lie. Every black congressman, senator, never wanted to go to war until Colin Powell. When Colin Powell backed the Republican Party and wanted to go to war, Negroes got on board. Why? Because that black face was up there. And that's the exact reason why they do it, camouflage. So you don't think it's coming from the white man. Everything that Barack Obama did came from white America. Everything that he did, period. They worked through him as a proxy. And the reason why is because everybody knows goddamn liar. Everybody knows that Donald Trump is a liar and a warmonger, and all he wants to do is take and steal the resources of other countries. It ain't that, they come with the lies. They killing their own people. They killed Americans. What was the guy named that he just murdered? He just ordered a strike on?
Baghdadi. They call him Baghdadi.
They call him Baghdadi. What was his name? Somalians. So whatever his name was, look. Yeah, get his name for me, the white eye. They murdered him in cold blood and said that he was planning an imminent attack. Well, if he was planning an imminent attack and he's dead, why does it need to still be classified? If he's planning an imminent attack and he's dead. Now, when you have a country that's planning an imminent attack, it has nothing to do with one man. That's a nation. This man represents a nation. But they went and murdered this one man. It had political reasons and overtones to it. They had an impeachment going on. I'm not dealing with conspiracy theories. I don't exactly know, but I do know this. Ever since he did that, the conversation changed. You find out his name? It was kind of hard to pronounce.
It's Qasem Soleimani.
All right, Soleimani. So they murdered Soleimani with more or less a video game. You got some guy sitting in the booth 10,000 miles away. He has a drone connected to a satellite and he just pushes a button and murders. That's how cold white supremacy is. It does not take into account the consequences of the murder. It doesn't take into account the cold-bloodedness of the murder. It only wants results. It only has greed. The Bible calls Esau profane, meaning he cares about is satisfying his flesh. That's it. Taking and stealing and murdering, satisfying his flesh. We cannot continue to live amongst people like this. Brother, let us have war.
That's right.
Read on, brother.
With perplexity the sea and the waves roaring, men's heart failing them for fear.
Men's heart failing them for fear. Everybody's afraid of going to war, even though we're dying without a declaration of war. As a people, we don't even know we're at war.
That's right.
Look, the Iranians can come over here, open up a business in your community and prosper. The police will not touch them. The laws will only assist and help them. Look, they get business licenses. They don't have to go through City Hall and no, we don't want this business here. We don't want that business there. We don't want to give you a liquor license because we don't want liquor being sold on that side of the street.
That's right.
They don't go through that. Why? Because they're not America's enemies. There is not an Iranian community Planned Parenthood, but there is a black community Planned Parenthood. Right. You can go look that up on your phones. There's a black community Planned Parenthood that targets young black women because they want our numbers down. They want our children dead. There is not an Iranian community Planned Parenthood because the Iranians are not their enemy. 5 Iranians can ride in a car down Martin Luther King smoking a blunt. The police are not going to stop them. 3 Negroes in a car are dangerous. There needs to be a SWAT team. Even though they're only 18. They're going to college. They're on their way to school with the books in the car. They're dangerous. They need to be stopped and apprehended. They have to be stopped and frisked. If they won't subject themselves to an effeminizing, embarrassing stop and frisk, then we must manhandle them physically. These are the things that terrorize us in our own homes, in our own communities and neighborhoods. That's why I say we don't live in communities. We live in other people's neighborhoods because everybody else controls black life. They do not target Iranians because Iranians are not the enemy of white supremacy, Negro. You are.
That's right.
Let us have war. I would have war. I would have war. Go ahead, brother.
Come, sir. I was trying to explain to my niece the other day. She asked me why, because she see these things going on in her community, in her school, and watch the news. And she asked me, why are they so mean to us?
John?
I have to explain to her the best way I can so she'll understand it as a little child that she is, that we are at war. They are our enemies.
We're at war. We are at war. And that's the best way you can explain it. All right? 33 million blacks since 1979 have been murdered. Now, if you go to war, is there going to be 13 million blacks murdered? No. Nobody could murder so eloquently and so thoroughly and efficiently except the white man.
That's right.
No one on earth. Look, people say everybody is the same. Everybody is the same. We're one race, the human race. Nobody. Look, the white man is human. I cannot deny that. I won't say that he's not, but he's not humane. And I tell you this, nobody has murdered in such horrific and barbaric ways and had no problem and no empathy before or after the fact. If you know that you destroy the people, and look, Iran themselves came out and said black people are oppressed and have been terrorized in America. Now, I don't give a damn about what these heathens say. Because you're saying this to what? Put America in the most worst light that you can put them in. Everybody on earth knew that America was doing chemical against us.
Right.
Everybody on earth knew that America was genociding and enslaving and murdering us. Everybody knew.
Right.
Don't come out with we being oppressed now like you know. Shut up. I would have had war. Read on, brother.
Come, sir. Men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth.
Looking after those things. Waiting for that war. Afraid of that war. The missiles to come. Let them fall. Let the first one hit me. If I could give my life for my brothers, I'd give my life today. I would take it myself. That's for right. My brothers. Yeah. You know what? Commanding General Yohana taught me who to love. And ever since Commanding General Yohana taught me who to love, I know who I must sacrifice for. If that means death, let death come.
So be it.
So be it. Let us have war, brother. Let the evil end. Why must it end? We're going to go into that in a minute. Read on.
The powers of heaven shall be shaken.
The powers of heaven shall be shaken. What is this talking about? Is it talking about up in the clouds where the Most High is? Nothing shakes the Most High.
That's right.
The powers of heaven. Who is in heaven? Who is in a heavenly state? Let's get it on. Let's see who knows. Who's in a heavenly state? What talks about?
Esau, our oppressor.
Esau, our oppressor, is in a heavenly state. How is he in a heavenly state? He is able to exploit. He is able to push his will on everybody on the earth. And let me tell you something, man. I'm going to tell you what's so horrifying for black people in America here today. These people make laws and plans to destroy us in the most heinous ways, brother. Right now, it's the weed that they pushing in our neighborhoods. They're mixing it with fentanyl, so we have to smoke it every 4 hours. So we get all kinds of emotions and attitudes that destroy our lives. But when white folks get what they call it, the opioid crisis. The opioid crisis is a crisis. The opioid crisis is a crisis that we must immediately take care of and defend. When black people was on crack and dope, they mass incarcerated us. They had no empathy, and they were the ones pushing the dope in our neighborhoods. They were making money manufacturing, selling, and marketing all kinds of drugs, particularly and straight into black neighborhoods. They then made the money off of law enforcement. All of the overtime, the cleanup, you understand me? All the legislations and laws that had to come about to make sure that they can continually get federally funded for the what? War on drugs. These were the same drugs that they pushed and marketed in our neighborhood. And to take it even further, I see you, brother. And to take it even further than that, they took over our artistry and the songs that we're making. Look, if you go back and look at rock and roll, the blues, jazz, all of these stemmed from a traumatic experience with white supremacy. All right? What we had to do was articulate that in a musical form, because that's the only way we could get it out. They was hanging us on trees, man. And they wouldn't take us down off the trees. Our sons and daughters had to walk past and see us hanging on the trees, disintegrating. Our musical forms of artistry came out of terrorism. Our one and only outlet and ability to articulate the things that were happening to us in our neighborhoods. We being slaughtered and genocided. They took that and used it. They took our musical art forms and sensationalized drug dealing and murder, sedition, disloyalty, gangsterism. We were never gangsters until it appeared in our art form. The only real release we had from the terrorism that white supremacy was doing to us, man. So guess what? They stole that, they exploited it, took over BET, and they used it to sell their dope to our children. Our children today, our children that grew up in the 90s today are still on dope and methadone. They have been unproductive in this society, virtually dead. So you can add that to the 37 billion abortions. Exploitation, man. No other race of people have ever done this before, or even considered it, or even thought about it. The white man is in fact the devil. Let us have war, brother. I would have war. Go ahead, brother.
Sir, Psalms 137:3. They that took us captive required of us a song.
They that took us captive required of us a song, brother. You know what? White supremacy requires us to be happy in our captivity. They require us. They require us to go out in the community and entertain. Swing low, swing chariot. Look, comfort our people with a song. Comfort them with a song. Let them know that we're happy in our captivity. Look, it is a terrible thing for me to get up here and indict white supremacy in white America. Look, our own people want to snatch us off the stage downtown. They want to turn us off of Facebook. Get rid of them, that camp, that One West. You can't get past the truth. Those who enslaved us, murdered us, genocided us, exploited us, they require of us a song. Go ahead.
That's it, sir.
Wasn't it something about mirth? They require mirth.
Oh, come on. For they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us required of us mirth.
They required of us mirth. They required a black face and white teeth. That's what they required. They required us to be happy with being genocided and murdered. That is a requirement, brother. If you are not happy with your enslavement in America, you know what white supremacy says to you? Well, if you don't want to be here, go back to Africa. Ain't that what they say? If you don't want to be in America, then leave. But you destroyed everywhere else too. There is no place for me to go. You ran a campaign of propaganda for the past 200 years to where my whole race was undesired. And I tell you what's so down low and disgusting that they did to us, man. This is the very low. No other race of people have done this to a people before. Never. Even when you go to prison, you leave out with an identity. They took our identity and gave us, what do they call it? And gave us a byword. They gave us bywords. They took our identity as the greatest people on the earth and gave us bywords. And of that incredible slaughter, they required of us mirth. I done went all the way off my loop. Get me back to my loop. Salakia. Let me get back. Let me get back to my loop. Salakia, y'all.
Verse 27. Verse 27.
Okay.
And then they shall see the Son of Man coming in the cloud with power and glory.
Look, don't be afraid. Don't fret. Don't fear. You believe in the Most High and Christ. Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh. If you believe in Christ, you would never fear war. I'm tired of seeing my people like this. I'm tired of it. Sometimes I feel like I don't even belong here. I'm tired of seeing my brothers with titties. Salaki, I can't say that. I can't say that. You let me say that one time. I'm tired of seeing my brothers with breasts defiling themselves with cutting off their rod. I had a brother tell me he's a eunuch. He was born a eunuch. A eunuch? Bro said he was born a eunuch. A eunuch is not a homosexual. A eunuch is someone born with either born and you can't either have children or you born without a rod. But it has nothing to do with homosexuality.
Okay.
But he wanted to make eunuch mean transsexual. And that's not what it means. Trying to use the Bible to validate your sexual deviancy. Well, that's not what the Bible is for. There are clear rules and regulations on how you can have sex, how you can use sex. You can look, if you nasty, you nasty. But you ain't got to carry out the acts. All right? You're not born that way. You don't have to carry that out. Look, this is the thing. This is the thing. We are committing all kinds of atrocities against the Most High. And because of that, we're paying the price in many generations. Now, what we have to do before the decree, and there's a precept, and I'm going to get you the precept. Before the decree, before the Son of Man cracks that sky, you better get right. You got to get right with him. Read that again.
Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired, before the decree spring forth.
Before the decree springs forth, O nation not desired. Why don't other nations of people desire us? Because they've seen our nakedness. They've seen our nakedness. What's that? They've seen us being criminals, being gangsters, glorifying it. Our women twerking and nasty and filthy, dealing with different men's. Our men twerking, nasty, having sex with different men. They've seen our nakedness. And in all of this, they genocide us, and we run around after white folks like a lost puppy. Like we don't want nothing to happen to America because we love it. It's so beautiful to us, even though we being genocided here. Even though our sons are not safe in the street. Even though a police officer murders our children every 2.4 hours, even though our own people hate the ground our own people walk on because of mass incarceration, because of the destruction of the black family. The father is not there. He's not there to teach the young man how to be a man, how to properly deal with his emotions. So every black kid is emotional. Every squeegee kid on the street, and it's not their fault, man. It's them. Don't you dare blame them. Don't blame them, man. It's my fault. It's my fault. It's my generation's fault. Because we fell into that Martin Luther King BS. We taught our children to love all people and to smile, dance. But now I say I would have had war for my brethren. Just like Paul, for my brethren of the flesh. I would sacrifice for my brothers. I would take the first missile for my brothers. I would eat the first bullet. I bite it for my brothers. I would have war because of what comes after. It's going to be hard, but for what comes after. Matazabah.
And what you're saying is so heavy, sir, because like when it comes to this, when it comes to our oppressor, we consider ourselves to be part of him. You got a brother here say we about to go to war. We ain't about to do nothing.
Come on.
You see what
We
I'm saying?
sick today, Mom.
Yeah, come on.
We sick. It's the same thing, Matazabah.
Come on.
We going to war, Bob? Salaki, go ahead.
No, what you saying is so heavy because that's how I look. But when it comes to each other, we don't say we then. We want to be individuals. We say I then, you know, but we don't say we when it comes to the oppressor, though. I mean, to each other.
That's why it must end. That's why we must have war. Let the world go into war. Let it go into war. What you got to lose, Negro? What you got to lose? Your weed? You ain't got enough stash? You ain't got enough stashed. The strip club ain't gonna be there. You gonna be able to go to the strip club. The wicked out of power. The righteous get in power. No, you can't go to strip clubs. But you will be safe. No, you can't smoke weed. But your daughter will be able to go to school and she'll grow up in a community. She'll have a decent childhood. She'll grow up right with the Lord. Your son won't get his brains blown out at 16. I'm just saying. All right, where we at, brother? We ain't even through this, man.
Come on, sir.
Come on, let's go ahead and get Luke and
Luke 21, verse 27. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the cloud with power and great glory.
With power and great glory. That's what we waiting for. The Son of Man to come through that cloud with power and great glory. Is that not worth war?
That's right.
Our sons are dying anyway. They shouldn't be in this white man's army. They shouldn't be. For whatever reason that they went in there, they now have the mark of the beast. What is the mark of the beast? Patriotism. They now believe that they are a part of America, even though black people in America get no spoils. Even the other nations know that we are exploited, used, stepped on, squatted on, pissed on. Every other nation knows this. Why? Because they see our nakedness. We're begging and we're desperate. It's all over the damn TV. The white man shows it. Every time a black man is arrested, they show the black man with the handcuffs on him. That's why everybody believes that black people are criminals, even though there is the largest percentage of American convictions that are black that have been exonerated. Nobody sees or cares about the exonerations and the evil that they've done, the 20 and 30 years that a brother has spent in prison for nothing. He might have not even been in the goddamn city when that happened. But of course, you have a white jury, and every black man that walks down the street, every black man that is born is guilty. And it don't even have to be necessarily guilty of the crime that he's on trial for. He's guilty of being a black nuisance that's trying to take supremacy from white people, because only we are their enemies. They gave Ronald Reagan a warship, the biggest warship on earth. Why? Because he destroyed black people with that crack. Like, they love Ronald Reagan. Like, Ronald Reagan did the most brilliant thing that white supremacy could have ever done. He put crack cocaine in black neighborhoods, used the CIA to push it, used our own music and talent to push that on us, and they loved him for it. The Ronald Reagan is the biggest, most powerful aircraft carrier / warship on the earth. It is like 2,000-3,000 acres of sovereign American land with cannons, rail guns, all kinds of missiles, defensive and offensive. The most powerful warship on the earth that has ever been built. They called it the Ronald Reagan because Ronald Reagan was instrumental in the nakedness of black people. Tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead, brother.
And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draws nigh.
Your redemption draws nigh. Don't be afraid of war. These things are prophesied in the Bible, in the records that were left for us. Now that we find out who records they actually are, what does it make a difference if he's black or white? If Christ was white, if he was actually white, that prophecy would mean nothing to us. That prophecy would actually be a lie. The people that are ruling the earth can't be the people that's waiting for salvation.
That's right.
This has to be the meek, the powerless. All right? He's saying, look towards your God. Look towards your God. Get right with your God before that sky crack, before the decree. And thank you for that precept, brother. All right. Well, give me a time check.
8:05.
Damn, spent the hour on one. How could you let me do that? Time go by. Take you to counsel. Hold on. Let's dang. Can't believe we spent the whole hour on that one. No sweat. Let's get any questions or anything online.
Not right now.
All right, both Facebook and
YouTube, ain't no question.
and YouTube, no questions, no sweat. Let us have war, brothers. Let us not be afraid. Let us take care of business before the decree. Let us do what we need to do for us. Let us be selfish for a minute. Can we be selfish once? Can we not think about white folks once? Can we not think about everybody else for once? Let's think about us. Let's think about us. What happens to black people if we go to war and atomic bombs drop? What happens? We the most resilient people on earth. We came out of 400 years of torture, absolute torture. We the strongest people on the earth. Nobody can take that from us. Let the bombs drop. Christ wields the sword. Read that again from the beginning.
And then shall they see the Son of Man.
Not that one. Go all the way to the beginning. I think it's 24.
Okay.
Is it? Go ahead.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and they shall be led away captive into all nations.
Mm-hmm.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. With
perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Something else I want. Get me Amos 9. Give me Amos 9 and 4.
Okay.
Yeah, give me Amos 9 and 4. Let me get some more drink there, my husband.
Okay.
If I could, I appreciate it. The water.
You ready, sir?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Amos 9 and 4. And though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command the sword.
Wait a minute, hold up. Read it again.
And though they go into captivity.
Though they go into captivity, this is talking about the 12 tribes. Go ahead.
Before their enemies.
Before their enemies, I'm going to send you into captivity. I'm going to lay you low for your enemies. Read on.
Thence will I command the sword.
Read it again.
Thence will I command the sword.
Who commands the sword?
The Most High. Thence will I command the sword.
Hence will I command the sword. The Most High commands the sword. So don't worry about the sword hitting you. If you right with the Lord, Don't worry about it. See, the reason why all you Christians out there sweating is because you know you ain't right.
That's right.
You know you ain't right with the Lord. The Lord controls the sword. You understand? It ain't no battle between God and the devil. That's nonsense. That's folklore. You understand me? There is only one Most High who is all powerful. He sends evil angels to destroy your black behind because you know you're lying. Christian preachers, you know you're lying. You're a goddamn liar.
That's right.
That's the reason why you're afraid. Because you know you've been living a lie all this damn time. You've been having sex with your brother's woman. You've been on the down low having sex with men. In fact, you know, you disgusting Negro, you've been turning people out. You've been turning little boys out. And that little Boy Scouts club that you do part-time, you've been turning them out. And you're scared. That's why you don't want to go to war, because you know what's coming.
That's right.
Any Negro that had faith in the Most High, read it again.
Thence will I command the sword.
I will command the sword. It's the Most High's will, not your will. What is there to be afraid of? A man can have a sword ready to strike. I'll stand there and give him my head because the Lord commands the sword. The Lord commands this. I'll take it. Let us have war, brother.
That's right.
I would have war. Read on.
And it shall slay them.
It shall slay them, kill them, destroy them. The Lord wills this sword, this captivity. This is his will. This is not the will of the devil. It's not the will of the white man. This is the will of God, that we serve this horrendous, this hellish captivity. It is also his will that we come out of it and we stop being a nasty homosexual and an adulterer. If we can stop that, we can do some amazing things, brother. We can feed the world. No one has to starve. No one has to be exploited. No one has to die. But we have to battle principalities. We have to battle ourselves. How can I rule and I can't stop getting high? This is what we got to battle, brother. Read.
And it shall slay them, and I will set my eyes upon them for evil and not for good.
I will set my eyes upon them for what?
And I will set my eyes upon them for evil and not for good.
Is that my God? Is that God saying that? Read it again.
And I will set my eyes upon them for evil and not for good.
You mean to tell me the Lord do evil, Matazabai? Good night. So now we got to reevaluate everything that we've been taught in that filthy Christian church, that God is all love. What the Christian church say? Double die? Don't they say God is all love? How many times have I heard that? Heard that since a child, right?
Not my God.
Not my God. Not my Jesus. Not my Jesus. Where they get that from? Where they get that from, Uriah? Where they get it from? Is it in the Bible?
Lie, sir.
Lie. That means no, it's not in the Bible. You had a question, young lady? Was you yawning? Hello? You was yawning. What was you doing? Didn't the Christian church tell you that God is all love? Haven't you heard that before? God is all love? Read it to her again.
And though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command the sword, and it shall slay them. And I will set my eyes upon them for evil and not for good.
This is the Lord talking in the Bible. You know what the Lord said? He will set his eyes upon you specifically for evil. You know why? Because you won't do what he said to you. You won't stop eating shrimp. You won't stop eating lobster and crab. You understand? You won't stop loving other gods. You won't stop loving that white God that they said was hung on a cross, which is a lie.
That's
It was a black God that sacrificed his life for his brethren, that cared for his brethren. And he was an austere man, a strong man, a devout man, a stout man. He loved black women. He adored black women. And guess what? He was also a stern disciplinarian. There was a harlot. Christ brought the spirit of the Lord. You understand? It was a harlot that was being an adulterer of her husband. And the Lord said, Christ said, whoever has not sinned, throw the first stone. He didn't say not to throw the stone. He just said whoever didn't sin, throw the first stone. He didn't say not to throw it because he's a stern disciplinarian. Everybody dropped their stone because everybody was a filthy sinner. But when she was leaving, Christ said, go and sin no more. Meaning, you go out there and do some sexual deviance, sleep with another man, they going to throw them stones the next time. He was a stern disciplinarian. And his Father, who is the Most High God, he'll send evil angels to destroy you and kill you because you won't do what he said. Ain't that different from the God of the Christian church? That's different, right? A little bit scary, right? You should be scared. And that's the only one you should be scared of.
Okay.
You should be scared of no man, but you should be scared of God. And you should do what he say, young lady. You hear me? All right. Read on, brother.
and the Lord God of hosts is he that touches the land, and it shall melt, and all that dwell therein shall mourn.
Good night. Look, we go to war, it shall melt. Out of their eyes, out of their skin, the Lord will melt them. Remember, he controls the sword. The Lord won't kill you if you're right with him. All you got to do is be right. That's all you got to do. Give me a time check, bro.
8:18, sir.
Good night. All right, no sweat. No sweat. We going to see any questions, anything?
No question, sir.
We can get through a couple of scriptures here. Hold up. Good night. Did you finish with that one?
Hold on, my car, sir.
All right, let's get Daniel. No, wait a minute. Let's get Jeremiah 15:1.
Hold on, my car. Jeremiah 15:1. Then said the Lord unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people.
You know what? Hold up. Better yet, give me Lamentations 1 and 3.
Oh my God,
Give me
sir.
1 and 3 Lamentations. Salaki. So we'll go a little better with that. Look, we are already slaughtered in this place. We are being utilized and exploited like pigs, like cattle in this place. Our organs being used for the benefit of another race of people. Our labor being used for the benefit of another race of people. Look, if you commit a crime and you commit a crime in a certain neighborhood, why are you then taking off to a farm in a different neighborhood to farm and to work and to benefit that neighborhood who you have done nothing against? Wouldn't it be just for you to work and pay back the people who you offended?
That's right.
Would that not be just? Maybe it's me. This is me. Maybe I'm not a logical man. Salaki. Maybe I'm not a logical man. But to me, actual justice is when you actually pay back the person who you offended. So if you do a crime in the black neighborhood, why are you benefiting white America? Why are you arrested in Baltimore and then sent to Hagerstown to work on a farm that benefits white people? I'm Salakia. I might have messed up a couple people day. Salakia, that was not my intention. It actually was. But why? Why? Anybody know? Why are you doing a crime in Baltimore City where you have harmed a black man or woman? They then lock you up, send you to Hagerstown to work on a farm that gives the white community cheap meats and fresh vegetables, where you work for privatized prisons on uniforms, furniture, and things that helps the white community. Why are you sent to Hagerstown and white communities to clean up the streets and to empty the garbage of people that you have made no offense to? Why? Dabuda?
Because the laws are meant to make us slaves again anyway. They don't care about the people you offended. They only want you to be a slave.
John. So what you saying, brother, is that this is not actual viable justice.
Come.
And you are right, brother. If there has been a slight against the black community, it must be dealt with in the black community.
That's right.
The people that have done criminal activity in the black community, who have lessened the black community, taken from the black community, terrorized the black community, they must then give reparations to the black community. Why criminality help assist white America? It's me. It gotta be me. Salaki Matazabah.
Sir.
It must be me. You know, I'm tripping. Salaki. I'm seeing something that nobody else sees. Salaki. Salaki, I'm tripping. Any questions? Anything?
No question, sir.
All right, that's what's up. That will die. You had something?
Kind of, sir. It sounds like it sounds like they know the Bible. Sounds like they're using the formula from Judith, the 5th chapter, to keep us in servitude.
Yes. Yes. This is a perpetual servitude, a perpetual hatred. You understand? Now, what I was saying earlier about our numbers, look, what I was talking about them exploiting us for our technical musical artistry. That's just one portion. All right. They exploited black women as computers in the 50s and 60s because of the imagination of white folks. They are unable to imagine anything past their physical world. But these black women were able to see protocols and create protocols out in space when they had never been there before. That's the salt of the earth.
That's right.
White America was able to use that to be able to go into space and successfully navigate a moon landing based upon black women's calculations. This is incredible, but nobody credits these black women for having the insight, the imagination, the aptitude to create these protocols to get these Neanderthals all the way to the moon. It's incredible, man. The other nations can see and understand what's happening, but we do not. We do not see what's happening. And I tell you something else. Damn, did we finish off Amos?
Nah.
Let's get Amos, man.
Okay.
Go from the beginning. Let's get Amos quickly, man. It's 8:30.
Amos 1 and 3, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Judah is going into captivity.
Go ahead.
Because of great affliction.
Because of great affliction. Go ahead.
And because of great servitude.
Because of great servitude. Go ahead.
She dwelleth among the heathen.
She dwelleth among the heathen. We dwell in everybody's land. We have no power, no independence. None. We have no love, no self-determination, but we dwell in everybody's lane. Nobody even considers us a threat but white supremacy because they understand and know what can happen if that bomb go off and we come together. It can be devastating. Read on.
She findeth no rest.
She findeth no rest. Don't tell me that don't tell me that you got rest. Everybody got a plan. I don't care how old you are, and it involves 10 to 20 years of hard labor. I don't care who you are. You got to have a plan for anything to work out because they got 87% of America's wealth locked down with just a couple of white families. You can't even get a piece of it. And you got a little bit of percentage that you got to fight each other over. And you got to come up with all kinds of schemes and plans and businesses to try to get a piece of that money. When guess what, brother? We could have 100% of it. Let us have war. I would have war. Read on, brother.
All her persecutors overtook her between the straits.
Her persecutors overtook her between the what?
The straits.
The what?
The straits.
The what?
The straits.
Between the straits. Brother, our hunger, our nakedness besieged us in the streets. All the things that we need, our clothing, our food, our mental health, our spiritual health, all the things that we needed was denied us. Our very identity was taken from us. Can you imagine a people, right? You got a people, a culturally rich people that you denied education to for so many years until they forgot their culture and forgot who the hell they were. And all the things that we needed, the food, the clothing, was denied us. We had to work for, trade our people for. You want to eat? What these Negroes doing in the swamp at night? What they talking about? Go ahead, brother.
The ways of Zion do mourn,
Look,
because none come to the solemn feast.
none come to the solemn feast. None. Our culture obliterated. None come to the solemn feast. But we are at feast. Your feast days, the feast days that the Lord hates. We celebrating Christmas. We celebrating New Year's and Easter and Labor Day and all the other atrocities that America creates off of our terror and off of our death. How dare they believe that we would want to be Americans after you have decided us so egregiously and unempathetically? No empathy at all. You bred us like pigs and like cattle, and then in the same breath say it's our for the fall of the black family. How can people with no political power, no financial prowess, no entrepreneurship be able to make anything happen? I tell you, brother, and I tell you to this day, I do not lie, I tell you the truth. That these things were thought out very against us. It was planned and it was plotted. It is not your fault, black man. It was pushed upon us in a methodical way to steal our labor, to steal our identity, and to remove the light from our minds, and to steal our birthright as the kings of the earth. Give me a time check.
8:32, sir.
All right, read on.
All her gates are desolate. Her priests sigh.
Ho, ho, ho. All her gates are desolate. What are the gates?
Man.
What talks about?
Pretty much our protection.
Our protection. Our gates are our protection. Who protects black people today? That will die.
Supposed to be the men. But
Salaki is not who it's supposed to be. It's a direct question. Who protects the interest of black people today?
no one.
No one. The water. No one. Our so-called leaders do not protect the interests of black America. The Iranians were talking about their cultural sites being targeted. Y'all remember that?
Okay.
That's a war crime to target our cultural sites. But I say this. Black people had cultural sites.
That's right.
We had Harlem. We had Brooklyn. We had Sadaka. We had Black Wall Street. What happened to Harlem? What was the what was the theater where all the black entertainers were found?
The Apollo.
The Apollo. That was a cultural site. What happened to black people cultural sites? You destroyed them. It's a war crime.
That's right.
That's a war crime. You destroyed my cultural sites and ain't nobody say a damn thing.
That's right.
What happened to what was that joint in Baltimore? The movie theater. What's that joint, man? The Hippodrome, bruh. What happened to my cultural site? You opened up the
Starbucks.
Say again?
At first it turned to Starbucks.
Not only the Starbucks, but you spent $3.6 million on the Jewish man's Holocaust memorial. Salakia, it was 6.3 million, wasn't it? Salakia, something like that. Right in Baltimore down, was it Monument Street? Utah, is it? 6-point-something million annually on the Holocaust for white Jewish people. But you took the Hippodrome. You took the Hippodrome. You destroyed my cultural sites. You took my labor. We worked for you for the past 400 years. You took it. And you robbed and you exploited my people. And you destroyed my cultural sites.
That's right.
That's a war crime. Did anybody open a charter or a complaint with the what you call them bastards, man? The United Union?
United Nations.
The United Nations? Did anybody open a complaint with the United Nations Matazabah? La. That means no in the Hebrew. Because they exploited us. They destroyed our cultural sites. They put dope in our community, which is a war crime. Chemical warfare is a war crime. Destroying our cultural sites is a war crime. But nobody says nothing. Why? Why, Matazabah? Why they say nothing about destroying our cultural sites?
Because we're that nation not desired, sir. We
are a nation not desired. The wild. Excellent. Get a brother a hand. That's an excellent precept. All right. What's give me a time check. So
8:37.
All right, we're gonna cut it off in a minute. Anybody got any questions, anything? Go ahead, Matazabah.
So I just wanted to bring out too in the Apocrypha, second Esdras 6 and 9.
All right.
It speaks to say for second Esdras chapter 6, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that followeth.
Absolutely. Read it again.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Esau is the progenitor of the white race, which you believe are Americans, the Australians, the Russians, the Europeans. He goes by many different names. The colonizer. He goes by Iran call him the Great Satan. The North American Indian calls him
fork-tongued devil.
Pale face, speak with a forked tongue. The Africans call him the colonizer. It is he, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Right. He goes by many different names, brother, but it is he. Start from the beginning.
Second Esdras chapter 6, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Esau is the end of the world. This world right here is the world of the heaven of white supremacy. This is white supremacy. And as we spoke about earlier, when we first came on the air, the fall of white supremacy can only mean the rise of black supremacy.
That's right.
Okay.
Come.
You understand? Read on.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Look, the beginning of it that followeth. Look, after that world is destroyed, there is going to be a beginning. Don't be afraid. Look, don't fret. Stop it. Grow some balls. Black men, grow some goddamn nuts, man.
That's right.
We are the kingdom of that which shall follow. A lot of us are going to die. A lot of us are going to have to sacrifice. How can it be any worse than the sacrifices we're making now?
Right.
We give our children to them. Our children go to kindergarten at what age? Matazaba?
5.
We're 5, 6, 5, 6. We're giving our children to them. We don't create the curriculum.
Come.
The curriculum that white supremacy creates is a self-hatred curriculum.
That's right.
It destroys our children.
Come.
And to send my children to a place that I know destroys them if I don't, it's against the law. Tell me nothing. Go ahead, brother.
Come. And they always try to change the curriculum to make it seem like that they're trying to help our children.
Could not.
But the curriculum is designed to destroy, especially black and Latino children.
The white man is the devil, brother.
That's right.
Come.
We know that the white man is the devil. That the devices that he creates, and that's in the Bible. So please, what is it in Zephaniah? Is there the devices that he thinks of, that he creates,
You want the scriptures?
destroys us? We can get. I don't think we got enough time. We can get it next week. Where we at?
Lamentations 1 and 4.
Come on.
Her priests sigh. Her virgins are afflicted.
Good night. Her priests sigh. Her virgins are afflicted. Look, her priests sigh. The people that are at the forefront of giving us an understanding of the Bible. Who are they? Them filthy, disgusting preachers. You understand?
Okay.
That's what it is right now. It's supposed to be Commanding General Yohana and us. But right now, they sigh. They sigh. They cry and they whine about war coming and it's gloomy. You got to hear Commanding General Yohana. This rebel. Like, look, if you've never heard of Commanding General Yohana, you gotta go look up this man. You must look into this man. I met him personally, and I can tell you this. This is the greatest man I've ever met. He's a better man than me.
That's right.
And I can tell you this. He told me, don't fret. Don't be afraid, brother.
Okay.
The prophecies of the Bible come to pass. And all I am is the vessel to bring that to you. And I said, well, damn. Well, God damn. He don't put himself off as the comforter.
That's right.
Or he don't give himself a title as the one true this or the one true that or the son of this or the son of that. He's Commanding General Yohana. 13,000. He has a rank that was given to him. He holds the rank of the highest ranking man in Israel. He don't come off as nothing else or to be nothing else. You understand? And this man has the truth. He brings us the absolute truth of this Bible. It ain't nothing fiction. It ain't nothing religious. It ain't nothing with rituals in it. He's bringing us the raw truth of the Bible. And bro, it is amazing because me and my house, we ain't afraid of no damn war.
That's right. That's right.
I want one scripture before we end it.
Come on.
I don't know where it's at, but I want y'all to find it for me. It's 8:45.
What's it say?
Don't want for that end to come. Don't.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Let me
Come.
get that scripture. We're gonna end it off with that. Commanding General Yohana is a rebel, bro. He is the leader of Israel. He is the man to take us to heaven, brother. He's the man to tell us how we should roll in these days. We should not be afraid. We should be preparing. The end is near, brother. And the general said, not yet. Not yet. But time is short.
Amos 5:18, is that the one you want?
Let me hear it.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Bang! Get a brother a hand. All right, go ahead, brother. Matter of fact,
What is it?
break it down for me, Matazabah.
Amos chapter 5.
Get Dawah to read it for you.
Come on.
Amos 5:18.
No, I'm out of order. You can't have two teachers, so I should have said that. Go ahead and read it, Matazabah.
Come. Amos chapter 5, verse 18.
Go ahead.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. Don't be happy and joyous about tragedy that's about to happen. Look, it's not going to be a fun thing. We're going to have to go through the wilderness. We're going to have to go through some horrific and tragic times. But this is a must. We must go through these times because, brother, we are right now at this minute being genocided. And the only reason they don't murder all of us is because they are exploiting us as a second-class citizen. As a permanent second-class citizen, meaning you can't have rich people without poor people. You have to have somebody that's doing the work, that's taking the pressure, that's being slaughtered, being murdered, that's going to say yes. You need a permanent underclass, but you don't want them getting so powerful in numbers that they overtake you. That's why you have a Planned Parenthood. That's why you push dope and sedition and effeminization into their community. These things are not something that's coincidental. These things were pushed in our neighborhoods on purpose for our daughters to get abortions, for our daughters to hate our men, for our daughters to blame the men for their tragedies and abortions. These things were set into motion by white supremacy, and brother, I promise you, they are deliberate. We should not blame ourselves. We are not to blame for their evil. Let us have war, brother.
Okay.
Read on.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you?
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. For what end is there for you? There's going to be sacrifice.
Okay.
There has to be sacrifice for Jew and Gentile alike. It's been too much evil. We done too much evil. We done too much against the Lord. Read on.
The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
The day of the Lord, brother, is darkness. This is not going to be fun. It's not going to be something that, Israelites are going to say, this is a good thing. This is going to be something we have to endure. The hardest part is yet to come.
Okay.
And we have to have faith. We have to have faith, man. In the Most High, in His Son. I'll tell you something, man. We can die slow, but we can man up, get some balls, and deal with this here. We ain't got to be all, we want this to come, and shouting for war and this, that, and the third. But we do got to be prepared. Read on.
Verse 19.
Read.
As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him.
Look. The Iranian missiles we ducked. But Russia fitting to drop the bomb. That's the bad brother. Russia fitting to drop the bomb, bruh. But we got to maintain faith. Because guess what? We can't continue to be exploited, genocided, murdered. Every black person in America goes through tragedy. Everyone goes through horrific tragedy. Either sexually abused, mentally and physically abused. The women put the men on child support. The men is beating the women. The children getting beaten, sexually abused. Everybody is a goddamn homosexual. I refuse to continue to look at my people in this state. The other nations have seen our nakedness. I would have war. I'm trying to glance over to Matazabah.
Security announcements. We are the Isupkbmore out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has any interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced Mayashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming convocations, we got Purim coming up on March 8th, and we got the Passover on April 9th. If you're in the Baltimore area, and you want to go to the Passover,
get in contact with us, 443-595-7875. Reach out early to the brothers, and we can arrange transportation to get our people up to the Passover up in New York this year. Remind Akim and Agwakim to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he has to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we're going to give a one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Madu Shabbat, Madu Barak,
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat.
Sisters, please stand. Saw, which means turn. Men of Israel, Madu Shabbat, Madu Barak,
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat.
Shalom, Yahweh,
Shema, Yahweh, Shema, Alatha, Ba'ashem, Yahusha. Yeah, you would? Go ahead.
Shalom, Yahweh, Shema, Elohim, Ba'ashem, Yahusha.
Yeah, you retire? Class dismissed.